After making seven figures in the online space in the last 12 months, I'm finally realizing why Alex Hormozi, Sam Ovens, Iman Gadzi, all of these big names that me and you know are making so much money online. And in this video, I'm gonna break it down for you and show you exactly what you could do to make a lot more money in 2024 and help shift some of your limiting beliefs as well. That way you can just stay focused, stay in your lane, and let's get right to it. All right, so if you've been in business for the last year, 6 months, brand new, right? This is a brand new business owner. In this little video, you are this guy right here with the light bulb, right? You got inspired, you watched someone on YouTube, you're like, man, I'm at a 9 to 5, or I don't want to go to college and I want to make a lot more money online. You could be a coach, an agency owner. Let's break this down, guys. Let's break this down because this is something I wish I knew when I got into the online space or in the business space in general, right? And so this is something I wish I knew. It would have made me a whole lot more money if I just stayed in my lane. This is a concept I call stay in your freaking lane because there's a lot of money in your lane. And I'm going to explain why, and I'm going to explain what problems and situations you're going to start having as you start scaling up in business, right? And so right here, this is you as a business owner. You might be broke. You might be down to your last dollar like this guy right here. You might be just relying on credit cards. And that was me as a business owner. When I first got started, I was putting everything on credit. Ad spend, this, coaches, mentors. I knew if I wanted to strive for bigger things, I needed to hire people. I put it on credit cards, right? And so this was literally me 3 years ago, right? Before I made seven figures online, sold my company, did all these different things. Multiple seven figures, actually. But it's not about me. This is about you. This is a video talking about how you can take your business to the next level. And so let's dive right in, right? You are this business owner. You got an idea. You got inspired, right? And here's the thing. Executing and making your first dollar online is one of the hardest things ever, right? Hardest thing ever. Getting your first dollar online is one of your hardest things ever. And then the second part is $100,000. And then the third is $1 million, right? That's the three stages, I believe. So one thing I want to encourage you to do, if you're brand new to business, right, get your first dollar. I don't care if you go edit a video for someone or coach someone on something, right, or do something, but get a dollar directly for your service, the service you provide that's just online, right? So get that dollar. Here's what's going to happen, guys. As soon as you get that first dollar, you get a taste of the money, the online money. You wake up and there's $10,000 on your Stripe before you've had your coffee in the morning, and you're like, life's pretty good, huh? Right? And so you get a little taste of money. You get a little taste of money over here. And so what's going to happen is you start scaling up. You start moving this little guy up right here. And in order for you to taste more money, which is right here, in order for you to taste the more money, you need to focus. You need to stay in your lane because one problem every single business owner runs into, and this is why Alex Hormozi and all of them are so successful and why so many people fail in the first year, is because they don't stay in their lane. They see all these other people starting an agency, starting a coaching business, making more money online. And so here's the thing I want to pretty much explain in this video, right? If we draw a line right here, I try and draw a line here. So if I draw an arrow right here, this is how much pain you have to take. Pain, risk tolerance, all these things combined. That's what you have to take in order to get to the next level. And you have to be so focused on your craft, so focused on getting good at one thing. And so a lot of people, let's say this little pain tolerance is $10,000 a month, right? The reason people can't pass $10,000 a month and get to that next level, and they see the next level right here, right? But then they also see the guy starting a brand new e-com agency or a brand new coaching business and a brand new Airbnb business over here, right? They see all these other people making more money online, and right away they pivot out of their lane, right? They take Bobby over here. Let's call this guy Bobby, right? You're Bobby today. And they move him back over here, start a brand new agency, right? Start a brand new agency. And then the same thing happens. A month, 2 months down the line, they hit the same pain tolerance. They can't cross $10,000 a month. And so they're like, that agency model is not for me. And then Bobby over here moves to coaching. And it's been 6 months, right? Another 6 months added to his entrepreneur career, right? So A lot of you guys might be right here. A lot of you guys might be passing this right now. And so what happens is he's over here testing this. A couple months goes down the line, he can't pass $10,000 a month, right? Because it's a new pain tolerance. It's a new risk tolerance. You have to invest into yourself. You have to spend money on ads. You have to learn new skill sets. And he thought this was going to be easier just because another person did it, right? Just because another person's flashing their new Rolex Datejust or whatever the heck it is in that category. And then what happens is, not this arrow, what happens is, let me delete this real quick. Bobby over here is like, all right, I watched some guy on Airbnb making $10,000 a month, and he moves over here. Same process starts all over again. 6-month process, and they never cross the 10K a month mark, right? And so what it requires is more focus on the one thing that you initially started, right? And so let me give you another mark right here. Another mark right here is about, I'd say about 30 to 50K a month. Let's say 50K a month. If you cross 10K a month, great. You're most likely around the 10K to 50K a month range. You know what this requires? And you see the money, right? You see the people making more money. It's the same trap. It just moves over here. It's the same exact trap, moves over to the different price range, right? And so now Bobby over here, who's now breaking past the 10K a month mark because he focused. Bobby over here talked to someone like me or some mentor, someone making actual money online, right? And that guy's like, Bobby, stay in your lane. Stay in your freaking lane. Just because it gets hard doesn't mean it's not going to be hard with that business or that business or that business. And so the reason people can't cross the 10K a month mark is because they can't stay focused long enough on one thing. And then the reason people can't cross, the reason people can't cross $30,000 to $50,000 a month mark is a different reason. So let me break that down for you. And it's crazy. It's like, why? Why stop here, right? And so one thing I do want to say though is you need more focus, more money, right? I'm going to leave this little pile of cash over here because you're past the 10K month mark. You're now having bands come into your bank account on a weekly basis, right? You're feeling that 30, 40, 50K a month mark, and that's like FU money, right? When I first hit like 40K a month and I got a speeding ticket the first time, I remember the first time I hit 40K a month. This is kind of off topic, but I hit 40K a month. I was driving in my Tesla. I was flooring it. I was going out of town with my wife, and I hit a speeding ticket. And I got a speeding ticket. I was going like 109. Reckless. It was like 3 years ago, right? It was my first time hitting that kind of money. And officer gives me a speeding ticket. And he's like, you have to go to court. You have to do this and all this stuff. And he just hands me the ticket. And I remember just smiling, taking it, and saying have a great day. And it's like kind of arrogant, right? But now I think about it. But like, I remember not giving a damn to go pay the attorney and pay the ticket because I was so happy because I had like FU money. I had like 40, 50K a month. It was like 44K, I think I crossed that month. That is when life becomes fun. You can live in a penthouse overlooking the ocean. You can eat steak every day. And so what happens, my point of the story is what happens here is you get very, very comfortable. You can afford the penthouse. You can afford the nice car. You can afford steak every day. If you don't like steak, you can afford sushi every day, or whatever the hell you like, right? And so what happens here is you get very, very comfortable. These things aren't even like that big of a distraction, right? The other business models aren't that big of a distraction because you already know, hey, like I'm feeling this money, right? I'm feeling this money. Life's good. If you're at this mark, there's so much more money, guys. There's so much more money. And the impact you guys can create is so much better. Stack more money. Retire your parents. Buy your parents vacations. Do these things for yourself. Save money for your grandkids. Like that's the stage I'm entering into. And it's inspiring, right? And so let's say you move him past here. You say you get even more focused. You're like, all right, the FU money is nice, right? I'm going to delete these because you're stuck in your lane. At this point, you understand the concept of sticking in your lane, right? And so you stick with it. You push through. And out of nowhere, guys, out of nowhere, you start hiring more mentors. You start reinvesting to ads. You start doing all these things. It requires a lot more focus. But that's when the real money comes in, like $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 a month mark. And out of nowhere, You could pay to have these guys mentor you. You could be in circles and stuff like that with other people they're charging $40,000 for a 3-week or 3-month program, right? People I'm paying right now are charging such a substantial amount because they're connected to these guys, right? They've gone and had one-on-one sessions. I can go pay to have a weekend with Alex Hormozi for $50,000 at this point, right? And I plan to in the next couple months. And so stuff like that, and that is what gets you thinking bigger. That is generational wealth. That is millions and millions of dollars worth of revenue. That is you selling companies, you thinking bigger, you're doing a lot more, all because you're stuck in your lane. Now Bobby over here is tasting this money. And the 40K a month mark is FU money, but this is a different type of money, right? This is like I don't have to work for the next 2 years and I'm still good kind of money, which brings you peace, which lets you even think bigger. Because a lot of people think that having your back against the wall 24/7 is the way to do business. It's an exhausting way to live. If you think that having your back against the wall financially is going to drive you to make bigger moves in business, you got it all wrong. Once you have more money and you can not work for the next 2 years, you get more inspired, more creative, and you make more logical decisions, better decisions that will get you to these levels, right? The Iman Gadzhi, the Alex Hormozi levels. And it takes years, right? One thing I forgot to mention is people stay stuck here for years, stuck here for a year or two, because once you start understanding things, it becomes a little easier. And then here for years. And it's a never-ending battle. It's a never-ending thing. And it requires focus. But my point of this whole video is this is all a lane, right? Bobby went from here to here. This is all a lane. Now he's chilling with the big dogs, right? It's all a lane though, right? This is a distraction. This is a distraction. This quadrant over here is a distraction. All of it is a distraction. And so what I really want you guys to do is, if you like the business you're in, if you're stuck at 10K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month, keep going. Because the same pain tolerance you're going to hit if you restart and go to another business, it will be there. The same problems you want to avoid by pivoting to a different business model will be there once you hit that same revenue stream. Say you want to hit 50K a month, 100K a month, the same exact problems will appear. The limiting beliefs, the issues, the lack of knowing which direction to go, the lack of knowing which ad strategy works the best for your situation. And so I really want you to stay in your lane, push harder, keep innovating, and become an innovator, right? Become an innovator and start freaking testing new things in your lane and pushing through and knowing that it's going to take years and knowing that it's hard. But what's the alternative? Being the guy stuck in the bottom bracket that keeps pivoting around, that never makes any real impact in anyone's life? That's not what we want, right? And so, as always, I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm going to be making a lot more content, so hit that subscribe button. This is raw, no editing, nothing. This is just me trying to give you guys a ton of value. And so I hope you got some value from this. Hit the subscribe button. Have a great Friday.